national scheme for ITI upgradation. So the Union Cabinet, which was chaired by obviously Prime Minister, has approved this national scheme for ITI upgradation and setting up of 5 national centers of excellence for skilling. Now, what are ITIs? Industrial Training Institutes. As the name suggests, these are training institutes which make the labor trained or industry ready, so that whatever skills are required in the industries, the skills are taught to them. So in the industries, like I have worked with, industries after my graduation was over. I graduated from an engineering college. So I was appointed as an engineer because I had done that formal course. But below me on the, I would say, manufacturing conveyor line or conveyor belt, there were many workers over there. Some worker was 12th pass, some worker was 10th passed, some worker was graduate or pursuing graduation, was like this. But one thing common was that all those people had ITI certificates, or most of them had ITI certificates, means they had done kind of a vocational training where they had learned that skill which was required in that industry, and then the industry employed them. Now the government is focusing upon skill training and development a lot. Government is also focusing upon increasing the share of the manufacturing sector. Probably last week or last to last week we covered this topic that India is aiming to double the contribution of manufacturing in the GDP from 12% currently to 23-24%. So we need skilled labor. Fortunately, we are at a situation where we are having the world's youngest population. We are having the maximum amount of population in the working age group. And if I just see the amount of population in the working age group of India, it is more than the population, the entire population of many countries in the world. Around 70% of India's 70% of India's population is in the working age group. But unfortunately, we are not having skills in our workforce as they should have been there. These skills will definitely increase employment. The skills will definitely increase the productivity and efficiency. And that is why skills matter. So this scheme for upgradation of ITIs, Industrial Training Institutes, is in the skill development domain. Basically, we are aiming to enhance the capacities of the ITIs. So this is it is. So we have approved National Scheme for Industrial Training Institutes, upgradation and establishment of 5 national centers of excellence for skilling. It is going to be a centrally sponsored scheme, means the state governments will also be involved in it. Total outlay is 60,000 crore. So transforming 1000 ITIs in hub and spoke model. So hub and spoke model क्या होता है? So basically there will be a hub of ITIs or a major center of ITIs, and in that region there will be multiple ITIs reporting to this major hub of ITIs, bigger ITI or major hub of ITI, and these will be individual ITIs. This is a hub and spoke model. These individual ITIs will be under this one major ITI. So we are following this model and we aim to produce 20 lakh skilled youth in the next 5 years. Now, key features of the scheme. So National Scheme for ITI Upgradation aims to provide 1000 government ITIs through a hub and spoke model. You know what hub and spoke model is. Aligning courses with industry demands. Whatever the demands of the industry are, aligning the courses with that. We are doing that. National Centers of Excellence, NCOE, will be established at 5 National Skill Training Institutes. Scheme will target 20 lakh youth over the next 5 years through industry-aligned skilled courses. Scheme has been announced in Budget 2024-25 and Budget 2025-26 with an outlay of 60,000 crore rupees. Central share is 30,000 since it is a centrally sponsored scheme. So state share also has to be there, 20,000 crore, and industry share is 10,000 crore. Co-financing will be provided by Asian Development Bank and the World Bank, covering 50% of the central share equally. Industry-driven approach. The scheme focuses on upgrading ITIs to industry-managed, government-owned institutes in collaboration with state governments and industries. This has to be there. A special purpose vehicle, SPV, means it will be created for this purpose only, for promoting or enhancing ITIs, will be adopted for an outcome-driven implementation strategy involving deep industry participation in planning and management. Objectives of the scheme: improved alignment with industry demand. So we need to improve this alignment. We cannot just train or skill the youth in whatever skill we think is relevant. We need to consider and we need to take into account the demand of the industry, needs of the industry. Okay, you require these skills, we will provide these skills in the ITIs, then you can take in the labor, the skilled labor. Ignoring the industry and you are focusing on skilling, so it is not going to be beneficial. You will be having, a skilled labor without jobs then, because that skill is not relevant as such. Skilling for employment. It aims to provide employment-ready workers to industries, including micro, small and medium enterprises. Infrastructure upgradation. This will be, ITI infrastructure will be revamped to accommodate new age, capital-intensive trades and to ensure capacity expansion. Like nowadays, the demand for electronics, automotive and renewable energy, these sectors is rising. But are ITIs equipped for training the personnel on or for these sectors? That is a question, and that is why upgradation of the ITIs is required. Enhanced vocational training perception. So vocational training is not bad. We have to, diffuse this perception among the masses. And vocational training helps you develop skills. ITI is what? It is vocational training only. It has helped you develop a skill, whether electrician, plumbing, carpentry, in electronics, like or mobile repairing, or semiconductor chips, or for that matter, renewable energy and all. So this is what you need to understand. Components of the scheme. First component is upgradation of ITIs. 1,000 government ITIs will be upgraded in a hub and spoke arrangement. Hub and spoke, the center is the hub and these spokes are, I would say, regional centers which will be reporting to this hub, a major center. The ITIs will offer revamped trades courses that are aligned with industry needs. Capacity augmentation of national skill training institutes. The 5 NSTIs located in Bhubaneswar, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kanpur and Ludhiana will receive infrastructure upgradation. These institutes will have improved training of trainers, facilities. So here in this 5 NSTIs, National Skill Training Institutes, training of trainers will be happening. Those people who will be going and training the masses. So training of trainers is also important so that adequate training is given or adequate skills are taught to them also who are going to train the trainers. The National Centers of Excellence for Skilling. 5 National Centers of Excellence for Skilling will be set up. NCOEs will focus on advanced skill training supporting high growth sectors. High growth sectors like renewable energy, semiconductor chips and all. And ensuring that workforce is prepared for future job market. Trainer development. 50,000 trainers will undergo pre-service and in-service training. This will ensure that trainers have the required skills to impart industry-aligned knowledge to trainees. What can be the expected outcomes of this program? First is skilled workforce for high growth sectors. Electronics, automotive, renewable energy and more. As of now, we are not talking about domains like artificial intelligence and all because this requires a lot of, I would say, specialization. But if this technology, artificial intelligence technology, gets diffused more and more in the society, there can be a time in the future where ITIs will be training the youth for that as well. It aims to fill skill gaps in these high demand areas. Strengthening the ITI ecosystem by adopting an industry-led model, the scheme aims to revamp the vocational education system in India, making ITIs more attractive and aspirational. Alignment with PM's vision of Viksit Bharat. The scheme aligns with PM's vision of Viksit Bharat by fostering a skilled workforce that can drive India's journey towards becoming a global manufacturing and innovation powerhouse. So our Prime Minister is often heard saying that the 20th century belonged to those countries who had access to natural resources. But the 21st century will belong to those countries who are having access to human resources. And India is positioned in such a position that India can reap the benefits of its young population, of its huge population, which is in the working age group. That is what demographic dividend will look like. But the population needs to be healthy, population needs to be wise, means it needs to be skillful and educated. If it happens, then the population will be wealthy. So, population being wealthy will make the country wealthy. This is what you need to understand. Employment generation, 20 lakh youth will be skilled and prepared for employment through industry-aligned skilling courses. Financial provisions, total outlay 60,000 crore, central shares 30,000 crore, state share 20,000 crore and industry share 10,000 crore. The center will take its share from Asian Development Bank and the World Bank will be funding it. Co-financed by ADB and World Bank, covers 50% of the central share. Background, vocational education's role in economic growth. These training are crucial drivers for economic productivity and growth. As India progresses to become a developed nation by 2047, we need relevant skills in our workforce. Since 1950s, ITI is not new, it is already there. Through this scheme, we are aiming to increase the capacities of those existing ITIs. So since 1950s, ITIs have been the backbone of vocational education in India. ITI network has expanded by 47% since 2014, with 14,615 ITIs catering to 14.4 lakh enrollments. However, ITIs have suffered from infrastructure deficiencies and lack of systemic interventions to improve their appeal and course relevance. Current state of ITIs. While ITIs have made progress, vocational training still lacks the aspirational value it should have. The lack of adequate funding in the past to upgrade infrastructure and introduced capital-intensive trade has hindered their potential. Need for scalable national programs. Past schemes to support ITI upgradation have been incremental and limited in scope. Now there is a need to scale these efforts through a nationally scalable program that reimagines ITIs and their courses to match industry requirements.